Okay, am I audible to you all guys? So
Yes, sir.
start from where we had left. So we had done create by all the various options what we had, and then we had done get, and in get we had also explored all the options, various ways, and then we had done delete, right? So today I plan to do update. So then we'll finish with all the CRUD APIs. So in update, you have to understand what is the logic, how the logic of update works. So
Yes.
I'll just share my screen. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how update will work now is all this. So let me copy this.
Sir, can you give a short recap of post, sir?
Post means it add the record. So if you want to add any information to the row, this is called as post. So as we had third APIs, create, read, update, and delete. So
Yes.
create is the API to post. This will add a record. Read will select and view the record, and update will update a record. So let me finish with the update, then I'll do a recap of the CRUD.
Okay, sir.
And delete will delete the record. These are the four primary operations.
Then get will,
So we have
when we use a get.
get
We,
view to view.
Okay, okay.
This is get. And update we use put. And for delete we use delete. So these are the four your HTTP methods. So this is to add a record. So that we have, for that we use post. Okay, so how update works now is, so first I will take the TID of the teacher which I want to update. Let's say I want to update Charles's record. So what is Charles TID?
3.
So I will take that. Okay, T number. Hit T number. Now you can take this as a request param. So we will take this as what?
Request param.
Request param. And give it T number, whatever. Okay. And take it in an integer variable T number, whatever. Rest is, I want to take the updated values. What are the updated values of this person? That also we have to take now. So the updated value. So now what? So when I do a find by ID on this, what record will it give me? When I call the find by ID and I pass this T number to it, the T number is 3, correct?
Yes, sir.
So which record will it give me?
Charles record, sir.
It will give me this record.
Yes.
So I will remove the other records. It will give me this record. I want to make this background as white. So why is this behaving like secondary color is set to white?
Yes, sir. It should be white.
Sometimes it shows like that in a paint.
So now when I will do a get and pass whole number as 3, it should give me this record.
Yes, sir.
I will call this as my teacher from database. Teacher from where?
Database.
So when I fetch the record from the database, this is the record which I have received.
Yes, sir.
And then I will also pass it the updated record which I want to update it by. So I will take it as a JSON object. So the teacher ID is primary key, so I don't want to change that. So this third teacher. So now Charles has left the organization and Charles has been replaced by this is a primary color and this is secondary color. Yes. So now Charles has been replaced by. So now I want to give this role teacher number 3 to this teacher. So that teacher's name is, so that is T name, right? T name is, okay, Smith, and Smith's age, that is T age, is 45. Charles is 41, right? And as he has joined new, his salary should be, let's say, 15,000. So I want to now give this teacher the TID 3. So earlier, who was the teacher ID 3?
Charles.
This was earlier.
Yeah.
And now after my update, what should be teacher ID 3 now? So after I update this record, teacher
Yes.
ID 3 should be like this. 3 should be 15,000, 45, and
Name Smith.
Smith. So I am updating the record number 3. So for that, I will accept two things from the user. First thing is the record which you want to update. And second thing is the updated values. One will go as a request param and one will go as a request body, correct?
Yes, sir.
So this will go as a
Request body.
request body. And this will go as a request param.
Param.
Whenever you hit the update API, you will be accessing, you will be passing two parameters as an argument. So let's do that. So we were here, right? And for update, use put mapping. Use which mapping?
Put mapping.
Give whatever endpoint you wish to. Okay. If you want to just return that teacher updated, so we'll return a string. Okay. And what endpoint will we use?
Update teacher. Yes.
Update teacher. Okay. We'll use the same method. How many arguments does this update teacher want?
Two arguments. Request param and request.
T1 is T number. Okay, that is done. Next.
Yes. Request body
request body, and in request body we will pass argument of which?
Teacher, yes. Object format.
We will pass object of which? Teacher. Now,
Uh,
first thing
Charles.
what I will do is I will call the teacher service dot which method? Update,
Update.
and pass both of them as an argument. So what am I passing as an argument to it? So I'm calling which method? Teacher service dot update teacher and passing TNO. First argument is what type?
Integer.
Second argument is what type?
Object type.
And I will say teacher. Now let's go and create this method and put all the entire business logic in this update method. So business logic will be in the service method. So now first thing first, what do you think we have to do? I had given the algorithm over here. What we have to do. First thing first, what to do?
First, take the ID
And fetch
from.
the realistic record.
Yes, sir.
Fetch the existing record by that ID. So first,
Yes, sir.
the ID has come in which variable?
T number, sir.
Has come in T number. So now, how do we fetch? So here we might have a method, right? Right over here?
Yes, sir.
Find by ID, correct?
Find by ID, yes.
So when I do a find by ID, when I call that method, it gives me the teacher from the database. Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, yes, sir.
And we are searching for the teacher number, right? And teacher DB will be of which type? Teacher.
Object teacher.
So now if I have passed 3, what all are there in teacher DB? If my teacher
Yeah.
number passed is 3,
Mm-hmm.
there in teacher DB. 3,
Hmm.
Charles,
Charles. 41 age and salary.
what age and age, salary into travel, correct?
Yes, sir. Hmm.
So these are there in which object?
Teacher DB.
Teacher DB. And what all are there in this object teacher, which I have passed on the front end? This is what you have to. Okay, so I'll rename it. I'll rename it as teacher from front end. Okay. So what all are in teacher FE? This is I didn't pass. This will remain same. All I passed was Smith 45 15,000. Correct.
Yes, sir.
So now do what? Set all these values to the teacher DB now. Make teacher DB's name as Smith. Make teacher DB's age as 45.
45.
And make teacher DB's salary as 15,000. How will we do that?
Mm.
How will we do that?
Teacher DB is equal to
Set what
set.
equal?
Set. Yeah.
Set. First, I'm changing the name. So set T name.
T
What
name
will give his T name now?
is Smith.
Smith is where? Where is Smith?
So T.
Smith is over here, correct? Here
Yes,
you
sir.
had Charles. Here you had Charles. So my question is, where is Smith? And here you had 41. Here you had 8,500.
In second position, string.
So Smith had 45 and 15,000. So what am I trying to do? I'm trying to change the name of teacher DB, correct?
Yes, sir.
What will be the new name?
Smith.
Smith. Where do I get Smith from?
Teacher FE.
Front end, sir.
No, so
Body,
now
body.
line number 55. Line number 55, how will I read Smith?
Request body, sir.
Request body object has come in the teacher FE object, no? So when
Yes,
now we are in the service layer.
yes, sir.
You have two objects now. One object is teacher DB, which is looking like
Yes.
this, and one object is teacher FE, which is looking like
Hmm.
this.
Yes, sir.
So now I want to change the name of the teacher DB to
Then
the name
we
of teacher
use teacher FE dot set teacher FE dot T name.
teacher
Yes, sir.
FE dot get.
Get.
So I'm
Okay.
going to read that.
Yes, sir. Correct.
And then set all the remaining three attributes also. Remaining two. So
Here we change the T name in place of TH.
set the age to teacher FE dot get age. Get age. And the third attribute would be teacher DB dot set sal to teacher FE dot get sal. And once you have done that, now all these attributes have been replaced. Now my teacher DB is looking something like this, correct? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So save it back to the database. Save it back to the database. Okay, no, with the
Can
capital.
we use here a function of
Yeah, we'll be using to save it.
replace?
No, we for update we'll be using the same function. So now teacher DB dot save will be saving to the database, right? So teacher repository dot save, and which object are we saving now? Because this object has the new values. Okay, and now we can return to the front end that teacher updated successfully. Let's try to hit this endpoint and check whether it is working. And this also you cannot hit via the browser. You'll need a testing tool. Okay, looks seems to have started. Application has started. Let's come here. Let's copy the existing endpoint, create a new one. Go to change the HTTP method, make it put, paste the URL, copy the endpoint from controller to the endpoint, paste it over here. Okay, and this will take to select the environment, okay, local, save one. And now before doing a send, how many things do we have to pass to this endpoint? You have to pass two things. One is a request param by the name T1. So in the params, give T1 and give the value as 3.
3.
Second is a body in a XML.
Body.
And what is that?
Yes,
Give the body
JSON format, na?
in JSON format. So in the
Okay.
body, we'll have to prepare the JSON object. So have we copied the JSON object anywhere? We'll have to prepare it then. So this is the format for the JSON object. Okay, now first thing first, what are the attributes? Go to the attribute class and check that.
Okay.
So it is what T name, T age, and sal, correct? Pass them over here. T name, T age, and sal. This will be on the left hand side. On the right hand side in double quotes, give our value. So what was the T name we were giving? Smith and 45 and 15,000. So we are passing two things. One as body also and as request parameters. Okay, there's no comma. There's nothing after sal. So remove the comma. So your JSON should be well organized. And now do a set. What happened over here? Okay, I gave should have chosen JSON, right? We chose XML.
Yes, sir. I told you JSON format.
JSON.
Yeah.
I just besides each other. That's why it is giving you unsupported media format.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Send. Okay, it is giving
Yes,
teacher
sir.
updated.
Successfully.
Now let's go and check which teacher has been updated. Request param have given what?
Charles replaced with Smith.
3. Yeah, so 3 got replaced. So 3
Yes,
should
sir.
have these latest credentials. 3 should have this latest credential. Like you see my database?
Yes, sir. It's showing Charles at TID 3.
Let me refresh.
Yes.
Now,
Now is Smith, sir.
okay.
Updated successfully. Yes.
So the save also returns the object which we have added, no?
Yes, sir.
Save also has the privilege of returning the object which we have added. So we could have done,
Yes.
instead of returning a void, we could have done return a
Teacher. Yes, sir. It will return object.
then over here what? Return, correct? And now this is returning a teacher object, so I will hold it in a teacher object in controller also. And now I cannot return this. So I will directly just put the return over here. No need to use any extra variables. And whatever that service is returning to you, you also return it. Now what is service returning to this? String or what?
Objects a teacher. Yes.
Okay. So now no need to go to the database to check whether the database has been updated or not. Directly we can check over here only. So I stop this and do a rerun. So you all will see the data in the front end. It's in the API tool only. So I go back and now, okay, now I want to change the value for, let's change for Jack. What is Jack's ID?
5.
Jack's ID?
5, sir.
Now
Yes.
let's create value of 5. So what is the current value you see?
5, sir. Value salary is 9,800 and age is 57.
Her name is Jack, correct?
Yes, sir.
So now give it some new values. So now I'm updating 5 with the new values. Okay. Let's give it Alex 49 and 18,000. Now, if I do a set, it will return me the object over here only.
Object. Yes, sir. Object. It will because this return type is teacher.
Every teacher object. So you can see the object has been
Hmm.
returned straight away over here.
Yes, sir.
So this is how the update API
Hmm.
works. Okay. You can
Sir,
also create.
yes.
Yes.
Can we update the single value, sir? Like
Yes.
I
Yes.
just want
Yes.
to update
Yes.
Alex with Ronaldo, and the remaining things are
Yes.
same.
Then you don't do this. What you want to update only the name.
Name, yes, sir. Only the name.
So you make a new endpoint by saying update teacher name. Okay. And name the
Yes.
same method as take now. So now you just want the name, right? So you
Yes,
take
sir.
two request params.
Yes.
You take two request param, one as integer, one as string,
Yes. One is integer.
and one
Second
will
one
be your
is
string.
string. Yes.
So string t name, let's say.
T
Okay.
name.
And now
Here T name.
what are we?
T name. Yes.
So now I'll call update teacher. Let's make one more new method, update teacher name.
Yes.
Is this method there in the service? Create it.
No.
So what are we
Create
doing
it.
now? So first we will fetch the record of the teacher. Okay.
First. Yes, sir.
So now I've got the teacher in teacher DB. Now what you want to update of the teacher? Only the
Name. Only the name.
only
Yes,
the
sir.
name you want to update. So and
Yes.
that name is in which variable?
T name.
T name. So directly pass that and now
Okay.
save that and return that. Save and
Return that object.
return this.
Object, sir. Yes, it will return.
So and you are returning the object is coming in your controller,
Controller.
returning the object. Okay.
Yes. Return teacher services update. Yes, sir.
So now let's do a run. So whose name you wish to update now? This is the latest table you have.
Sir, let's do DOM with Ronaldo, sir. I want
Now
to update.
4 with
Oh,
Ronaldo. Okay.
yes, 4.
That
Yes.
that is all you have to pass now. But that endpoint
Yes.
now will change. So I'll copy this and make a new endpoint with the put.
Put
Okay.
method.
You can give a name over here. Okay. You can give name over here. And name
Yes.
just give the
Update
endpoint.
teacher name, sir. Endpoint is update teacher name.
Yeah. We'll change that.
Okay. Okay.
So update teacher. I'll go back to my controller. I fetch the exact endpoint. Okay. And now save, run. And when we'll do the send, that time you add the params. What are the params? T1 and T2, correct? So T1 is your teacher number and T2 is the new name you want to give to it. Okay. Now do a send. Got it? Yes. Are you able to see my screen? So the teacher has been updated. Okay. You can also create your own response and send your own response also. That also is very much possible. That we can make your own responses. So now when my teacher is added, let's say, okay. When I add a new teacher, this one I can do is return the teacher object. Second is you are just giving a message that teacher added. Okay. So like here we were giving, okay. The one which returns the string. Yeah, this when you are deleting the teacher, you just
Yes, sir.
called as teacher deleted successfully. Okay.
Yes,
So now
that's
if
the
I want to
reason.
give my own response, what I can do is I can make my own response class. So I will make a new package. Okay. So I make a new package. Let's say response package, in which I will make my own response classes. And let's say, make a class. Then what response I will send when I will delete a record. So what am I doing?
Delete,
So here you
delete.
send your own responses, prepare your own response class, and add what all messages you want, and you can return the object of this class while returning. So we're just now printing plain text message, right? So now you can return the status message. So what I can do, I'll make a private Boolean variable called as status. So I will return if the query is successful, I will return true. Else I'll
True.
return false. So my status is a variable.
Okay.
And the message which we have displaying, record deleted successfully. Let's make a message
String.
also.
Okay.
That is a string.
Yes.
Okay. So this will print the message that's successful. Okay. And then you can also add a HTTP status like 400, 404. So there's a class called HTTP status. Okay. HTTP status. Make object of that. So let's give the same name to it. Just make the L as small. Okay. So as developer, this is what you should know. What is this with a capital H and which is this with a small s? What is the small s doing?
Reference.
Okay,
Of
so
HTTPS status
so you can give it as a HTTP status code.
Okay.
Okay. And so make constructors and getter setters for this now. So if you have a parameterized constructor, I always recommend that we have a empty default constructor. This is also there, and as they all are private variables, generate the setter getters also. So generate them. Okay. So now instead of sending package statement, this is the response package. Now let's go to the controller. Now instead of sending this response, we can return the response in the format
String.
response. I know the class name. Delete response. Okay. So now my response will not be string, it will be an object of delete response. So now I will
Okay.
say
Return.
make object of this first.
Yeah. Delete.
So now I will put this in a try. So if everything goes as per plan, okay, if everything goes as per plan and there are no exceptions which has
No.
okay, instead of using the parameterized constructor, no, we can use the default constructor to initialize this variable. So we can set the default values. There is no super, remove the super. So what we can do is, so by default, I will say that it is unsuccessful. I'll say status as false, message as record not deleted, and the HTTP status code we can say so what was the variable name status code dot, and then we can choose any of these options. So accepted, already reported, bad request, bandwidth, checkpoint, conflict, continue, created, failed, forbidden, found, gone, insufficient. So use any of the option which you feel will suit the not deleted. Only require authorize and supported equals the methods have been over. So let's try to say forbidden. Okay. Don't use. Okay, let's say not accepted. Status code that this is not accepted. So when I make an object, what all attributes are there in this delete response now? I'm just using the no args constructor. So what is the status? What is the status? Well, it has been made using no args constructor. Now once our query is true, okay, and it doesn't throw any exception. But if it is throwing any exception, it will go directly go out.
And yes, sir.
Okay, because if it is throwing an exception directly, it will go out. And if it has not thrown an exception, means our code
Uh,
has
deleted successfully. It should.
so now we will set the values to that. It is
Okay.
dot set next status as
True.
and okay. Dot set message as
Record deleted successfully.
and dot set HTTP status code as HTTP status dot okay. This is good. Query has been executed. So see what I'm doing, and then once this object is there, return this object. Return the delete response, because we are telling that we are returning the delete response. So see what we are trying to do. We made an object of the delete response with a no args constructor. So by default, it is giving all the setting which is there in the default no args constructor. So by default,
Yes, sir.
it is false, record not deleted at. Okay. So if any exception happens, so let me go back over here. The controller. So see what I'm trying to do. If an exception occurs, if any exception occurs, so while deleting, if any exception occurs, what am I doing? Returning
Catch
the
exception. Yes, sir.
response which I just created over here with all the
Yes.
default values. And the default values say what? What do the default values say?
False. False. Record not deleted. Not acceptable.
And if
HTTP
it is
status.
successful in deleting the record, if
Yes.
it's successful in deleting the record, will it throw an exception?
No, sir.
No, so it will not go in catch.
Not.
So it will go outside
It
the catch,
will show
send back
the
the
status.
messages and
Yes.
return that object.
Status to record deleted successfully and
Okay.
HTTP
The
status
delete
okay.
response object, if the exception is thrown, will delete the one which is created by default. Else, I will set the new value and then return it.
Yes. And it will show, it will give you delete response opt.
It will give me an object of this nature. Status
Yes.
true. It will be a JSON object with status true, message as this, and code as okay.
Okay, sir.
So let's try to run this. What are the changes? Saved it. This you are get for which endpoint? Delete teacher by teacher number. Okay. So that endpoint should be there, right over here. Delete teacher by teacher number. This one, teacher by teacher number.
Yes.
So now when I do a send and I pass teacher, which is already there, let's say. So is teacher number 2 there?
Teacher number 2 is Ben.
It is there, right?
Yes, sir.
If I pass that as an argument, teacher number 2, what response will it give me now?
Status is true. Record deleted successfully.
Okay.
Yes. And
And
HTTP
some
status.
customized responses also. And
Yes.
if I try to delete teacher number 2 again now it is 2 there.
No, sir. 2 is not there
So I
because
can
it's
send.
deleted.
Okay. How does it
Yes.
response?
Yes. False. Record not deleted.
Getting
Not acceptable. Yes, sir.
both return to the front end team, and the front end team now will get these information and show you on the screen. So on your Android screen, you get the message. So the front end team is getting this object and it will say SOP get the message and display it. That's all. So like this, you can have your customized response classes also. And return them as and when needed. instead of returning simple messages. Okay. So now, Amir, you joined your laptop or mobile?
No, sir. I'm still in my hometown. I will go on Wednesday.
So you joined via your mobile or laptop right now?
Yes, sir. Mobile, sir. Mobile.
Where's your laptop?
In my home, sir. I'm currently in my hometown, in my village, sir.
Okay, okay, place right now. Okay. But I wanted you to give a run through of the APIs, like
Yes.
created them. So even you to be a revision for you, and other candidates could also have understood. So now if I tell you to start with the C part, create part. So yes, so the basic entry. Oh, yeah. So now if I ask you to explain this post mapping, how would you explain?
Post mapping is used for to adding the data into the database. Correct,
Okay.
sir?
Post mapping is to create a resource. Yes.
Yes, sir. So in
What all steps have you followed to do a post mapping to add a teacher?
first we will take attributes from the user.
How are we taking the
So,
attributes? How many ways do we have to take the attributes?
so first way is request param, and the
What does request param do?
request param will take attributes from the
Individual attributes. We'll take the
it will take the
individual attributes. So it will take T number individually, T age
yes sir.
individually, and salary individually.
Yes sir.
T1 is what you will what the front end will while passing the T name will refer the
Yes.
T name as,
P1
and the back end will receive the T name in
string T name.
T name variable. The front end while sending the T age will send it
Yes.
as,
P2
the back end will receive the T age in,
TH. Yes.
the front end while sending the salary will send as,
P3
and the back end will receive the salary in.
salary. Yes.
So
SL.
now
Yes.
let's say we have one, okay, one record coming from the front end as this. Yes. Now what to do about? So now we have got three distinct values, correct?
Yes sir.
Now what to do of these distinct values? Because Java understands objects and classes. Understands? So
Yes sir.
now what to do of that object and classes?
So first we make a object of that class.
Plain object, okay?
Plain
Non-parameterized.
object. Yes
Plain,
sir. Plain.
okay?
Yes sir. Then
Now,
set the attributes
so now
like
to that, now the teacher object has how many attributes?
the four
It
attributes,
has
but
TID,
yes, TID, T name, T age, and T salary.
okay?
Yes sir.
What all attributes will we set now?
Here we have to set only three attributes because
Why
TID
the
is
first attribute?
automatically generated
From where? So
from
when we made the teacher entity class, we had given
yes sir.
that ID and
Teacher entity class
strategy
TID.
as generation type identity. This will
Yes sir.
what will this do?
Auto increment.
So auto increment. So TID is auto incremented. So I don't have to pass that. So what all three things I have to set now?
Only three. T name, TH, and salary.
And for that, I have given the setter getter methods, right?
Yes, sir. Setter getter method.
Where now I am setting the values. So now at point
Setting.
T1 object is created.
Yes, sir.
So controller will just set up the work and then pass it on for to whom to insert.
To teach teacher service.
Yeah, service. So controller will pass on to service. Controller
Yes, sir.
pass on to, so this is
Service.
the controller layer. We should accept the request from the front end
Front end.
and pass the data to the,
Service class.
all the business logic will apply where?
Service class.
In the service class. So now we have prepared the T1 object, and
Yes.
whatever objects which are passed, those are your which objects?
Entity.
Objects travel between the layers.
Yes, sir.
Your
Entity object.
entity objects travel between the layers. From
Yes, sir.
controller to service and from service to repository.
Repository.
Now, which object are we passed?
Teacher object.
T1. T1 is
T1.
our teacher.
T1.
Teacher
Yes,
is in
sir.
which package? Teacher is in the
With
entity.
package.
So entity data close.
And
So now we have passed this T1 object to the service layer. So we made a teacher
yes.
service and we have made an object of the teacher service and we have auto wired it. So directly from the
Auto
IOC,
wired. Yes, sir. Because of linking, na?
because of the IOC container dependency injection, directly we have got the object just by auto wire.
Auto wired.
To
Yes.
create teacher service equals to new teacher service.
Sir,
This
if you don't write, sir, auto wired, then it will not
create the
link to
object
teacher
yourself.
class. Okay.
Then you
Teacher
have to
service.
create the object like this yourself.
Yes.
If you don't want to auto wire, then make the object yourself. Like this. But now in Spring Boot, we do not make the objects. We just auto wire the object. Just directly fetch it from the
Yes.
IOC container. So the IOC container will have the object of teacher service because we've annotated the teacher service class as add service. So whichever class is annotated with add service, that class object is there in the IOC container. So directly fetch that object from the IOC container. So
Yes, sir.
got the object. Now using this object, call that classes methods. So using teacher service, we are calling the method called as add teacher. And we pass that entire T1 object to it. So now we go to this add teacher, control and click. So now you have the add teacher.
Yes, sir.
That object T1 has come over here. And now the service will pass on to the repository. So service will have the repository now.
Yes.
The repository has hundreds of inbuilt functions to communicate with the database. So to add to insert for insert query, what will we use?
Save.
Save and pass the object. So what does JPA do? Object to
We will convert an object into a record.
yes, it will convert an object into a record. Object which we had made T1, it will turn it into a row. That's what the save method will do. And this will insert the record. So this CA endpoint is covered. So like this we had accepted the input using 3 different distinct parameters. So if I want to hit this endpoint add teacher with 3 distinct parameters, I would go and hit it like this. So post, right?
Post, yes.
Where is that? Did we make an endpoint over here for that? Because we have by path variable directly. That is what
yes.
we are having. So let's try to hit that.
Yes, yes. Yes, make a new.
I copy one, click on the plus, make a new. We are doing a post.
Post, yes.
Paste it.
Paste here.
What is the endpoint?
Add teacher.
Add teacher, only this front part. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And now take this last endpoint and add it to the untitled over here. This will become, so this will show over here then. Add teacher with what? Request params, right? And just keep it simple. Add teacher request param. And now save, run, and is the application running? Is the application running? Application is running. And now we can pass the params over here. What are the params? What are we giving params as?
P1, P2, P3. Yes.
P3. So give over here. P1. The P1 is the name, right?
Yes, sir.
P2 is the
Age.
P2 is the age. Okay.
P3 is salary.
P3 is the salary. Okay. And now if I do a send, it should add that object. ID is auto
Sir,
incremented.
we can see Eclipse screen only, sir.
Huh?
Can you please share? We can see only Eclipse screen, sir.
Here. So I hit this end
Yes, sir.
add teacher
Now,
and add it
P1, P2, P3.
as in the params tab. And I did a send, it gave me the JSON object. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So this was your post with us all the distinct attributes. Now you can also send all your objects clubbed together. All these three values clubbed together, make an object out of it. So make a object out of it like this. This is called as JSON object. But that has to be sent via the request body. So that has to be sent via a request body. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So make a view. Okay, let me copy this JSON object somewhere that we can fall back on it. So I go to this post, copy this endpoint, say I want to make a new API, post API, paste this path over there. And now I am calling which endpoint now?
Add teacher by
Request body, right?
request body.
So I will hit this endpoint. So you paste this over here also and save it, paste it over here also. Okay. Here you can give space, whatever you're pasting over here in bold, no? That will just reflect over here towards this side. Save. So now when we will do a send, Before doing the send, go to the body, choose the data as JSON, and now paste that object over here, which we had copied, and make changes in that object. So similar structure with the brackets, okay, curly object with the curly brackets. And now make changes over here. So no need to pass the ID because that is auto incremented. So all you have to pass is the name, age, and salary. Okay. So give some name over here. Okay. Let's take some Indian teacher also. 56 and 19,000 salary. And I do a set. It returns me that object. It has been added. So you can send the data all together as an object, passing it as a request body, or send it as individual objects. So how did we do that? So whatever request body, that JSON object you have sent has directly come in this object teacher T1. And now, as we have got the object ready made, we will not create our own object, directly pass that object to the add teacher function. And add teacher, what add teacher does, we know. So we are calling the same method of the service. So like this also you can send the data. And the third way of sending the data is by sending as path variable, sending it as a part of the URL itself. Sending it as a part of the URL. So this is over here we have. So you can send the data as a path variable. The teacher name, teacher age, and teacher salary can all go as a URL. The difference between the URL and request param is request param, there's a question mark over here. If you observe, when you do a request param, and you do a send, it puts a question mark, and then P1 equals to Tom.
Yes, sir.
Just look like this. That is your request param. So if I do a send over here, okay. Any name. So you will see. Okay, normally if you see the browser, it will put a question mark over there and then show you. But now we are sending it via the path variable. The path variable is a part of the URL. So data will go in as a URL. So first variable, second variable, and third variable, separated by the slash. If you want to send data in this format, then you can say add teacher by path variable and put each variable in a curly braces.
Yes.
Separated by
T3.
your slash. And then assign them to your Java variable. So T1 is a path variable, and I will, whatever comes to T1 will stored in which variable?
T name.
String name.
And whatever comes into T2 will be stored into TH, whatever comes into T3 will be stored into salary. Take your object and put these into the object and send it to the add teacher.
Yes, sir.
Just a way of accessing the data is different. Okay. Now, if you want single path variable, same way. Just take only one path variable, map it to an integer variable, and we can do that. So if you are taking the teacher name from the user only, and you can hard code the age and salary and send it to that teacher.
Yes, sir.
So now we want to get the teachers. So for get, we have get mapping. This is to read. C is to read. So create is done. And now we want to do the reading part. So you
Yes.
want to get all the teachers. So we make an endpoint called get all teachers. And then we call the get all teachers method of the service class. That will give me all the teachers. So which is a list of teachers. The return type is list of teachers. Now, what is the get all teachers doing? It goes to the repository and has a
Yes.
function called as find all.
Find all. Yes, sir.
Find all will return all the teachers. Those will send to the controller, and controller will return all the teachers. So we'll see a list of teachers. So now if I hit this endpoint, get all teachers. If I hit this endpoint, get all teachers. So get, right? See, get all teachers. And if I do a send, it will give me the list of all the teachers in the application. So 7, 3, they're all my teachers. If you want to order them by their name or number, then you can write your customized query. Write your customized query and you can fetch the details like that also. So here, if you want to fetch only a single teacher, then you can say get teacher by teacher number. So pass the teacher number as request param. And call a function in the service, get teacher by teacher number. And what that will do, it will find you by the ID. Find by ID, this teacher number, and dot get. And it will return you that teacher. That teacher you can return to the front end. And if you want to get the teacher number as a path variable, then you can say get teacher by teacher number using path variable, whatever endpoint you want to create, and pass the teacher number as a path variable, map it to a teacher number, and rest remains the same. Service method is invoked. And if you want to get by teacher age, so accept the age from the user and call this service method get teacher by teacher age. What this you will do is, for that we have to make our customized method in the repository. So we have made one, find by the attribute less than. Okay, so these are all your repository methods. We had discussed this. So you can make a note of this. Keep a note of this handy with you. What all repository methods can be used. So distinct, let me make it more smaller. If it comes into one frame, I can share it with you all. Name queries. These are not name queries. Which one were there? Using JPA name queries. No. They were, I guess, under this one, query creation. Take a note of all these methods. You all can use.
No, we cannot see your screen.
Yeah, I'm sending the notes on the WhatsApp chat. So I'll stop sharing my screen.
Okay.
So if you can make your own customized methods in the repository. So this logic is just follow that style which I sent you. Find by is fixed. And so if I show you over here. So what he's trying to show over here is, okay, find by is fixed and age is the attribute of your entity class. So whatever is the attribute of entity class you can use. and then less than is fixed. So
Yes.
here, age is the name of the entity class, attribute of your entity class, with the first character as capital. So if I
Yes.
did the same over here, so I did find by, and as my entity class attribute was T age, so I said
Yes.
find by T age and less than.
Yes, sir.
So whatever T
Correct.
age you are finding by, you have to pass as an argument over here. This is your age. So this is the age you have to pass as an argument. Just create a simple method of it in the repository and call this repository method. No need to give body to this because it's the interface. And similarly, if you want to find the employees who are between a particular age, so find by our entity class attribute and between. So we have used this method over here. This find, so in his entity class, the attribute is start date. So but in my is T age. So like this. So you can play around with all these varieties of your repository methods. So they will be as good as that you're writing a where clause and writing your customized queries. So then you can also write your own SQL queries also. So I want to display the names of details of teachers who are less than 50 years and salary is more than 10,000. So you can write your own query also.
It's called native query, na, sir?
Query, yes. Native query, and you make a method by whatever name you want to give, and that function will return as a list of teachers who are fulfilling this condition. So now I have hard coded the values over here. Okay, this was more like a statement. But if you want to use prepared statement, then you can say age is less than the first argument. So to your method, you can pass arguments over here. So age is less than the first argument, which is age, and salary is more than the second argument, which is the salary. So whenever you will call this function, find customized age, you have to pass two values to it. One as the age and second as the salary, and that will be substituted over here. So like this, you can make your own customized queries also. So we have used all these in our get. Okay, so now like this over here, get the teacher by range. So get the teachers who are age is in this range. So I pass both the ages as a path variable, T1, T2, I set it with start age and end age, and I call the get teacher by range function in the service, and the service will call the repository function find by T age between. So we'll call this function find by T age between, and that will take two arguments, right? Start age and end age. So while calling this function, you have to pass the two ages. And those ages have come over here as a parameter on the front end. I will pass it to the repository method.
Yes, sir.
Give you all the teachers between that range. If you want to get teachers by custom data, so what we have done in the custom data, call this method. This method has called the find by custom age and salary.
Customized.
This is telling that okay, age less than 50 and salary more than 10,000. Only those employees will be sent. And if you want to pass this custom data as parameters, then you have used custom data using parameters. And we have passed the parameters. First parameter is T1, that is your age. Second parameter is your salary.
Yes.
So this was all your read. Then for delete is very simple. Make an endpoint, give a delete mapping to it, and accept the T number. So we'll be deleting on the primary key. We'll be deleting on the
Yes.
primary key.
Primary key, that's okay.
The attribute
Hmm.
and just call the delete to the service method. Make a first a service object, make a method, delete teacher number, and pass this object to it. Pass this
Yes, sir.
T number to it, and that T number will call the repository function delete by ID, and your record is deleted. And what I did over here was just to send my customized response. So I made a class called delete response
Delete response. Yes.
to it, made a no args, so there was no need of this parameterized constructor. Made a default
Yes.
constructor and set all these values to the default. Default is unsuccessful. And So I made a object with the default with the no args constructor. So no args constructor is setting it as unsuccessful. Okay, all the attributes are not for not success. Then I do a try. If any exception is thrown, then directly it will throw this object only. So not success. If no exception is thrown, we deleted it successful. Then I will change the values and I will return the updated object. And now for update, we just did today. So we can update, pass the teacher number as a request param and the new object which you want to pass, the new values, pass them as a request body. And your update teacher function for the service will apply all the business logic and update that value for you. So create, read, update, delete, the 4 basic operations of any CRUD API we have completed. So try to practice this. And I have also made the custom response class today. So if you all want, you all can return a simple string or return your customized response class. So that make a new package called as your response pack.
Okay.
So we
Thank you very much, sir.
This part at least. Now
Okay,
I want you all to practice and come to this level because then only we'll be able to progress further. Unless and
Yes,
until
sir.
Abir, what time are you expected to reach your native place?
In Wednesday, sir. Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, so you'll reach before the next class.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so practice this much. If
Yes,
you are
sir, sure.
comfortable with this much, then we can move ahead and add more flavors to it. Like what are the advanced topics which we can?
Yes, sir. Like HTML, doing something with HTML pages.
That will be
Like
the front end part. That doing something with HTML is once I return this object. So if I want to, let's say, display all the teachers in a table format in HTML, TDTR, remember?
yes, sir. Got it, sir. Yes.
For the backend, I will
TD.
call this API. For the backend, I will call this API. This API will return me the data in the JSON format, correct?
Yes, sir. Correct.
This API will return data in JSON format with like this, right?
Yes, sir. Correct.
Take this data and now convert this data into rows of HTML.
Yes.
Instead of displaying it like this as JSON object, you'll have to display it in a tabular format like this.
Tabular format.
So that is what your front end will do. So have you all reached
Okay.
of that level of expertise of parsing a JSON object in front end? So
Not yet, sir.
now focusing on the backend part. Backend part is just to deliver the data. As a backend developer, our task is to deliver the data to the front end with the JSON format. Backend developer tasks finishes over here. That the data is being shown in the JSON format. Now it is to the front end to pass this data and show it as if they want to show as list or they want to show as table, as form, whatever they want to do. And then for the add APIs, we are taking the data as a URL, right? So you'll have
Yes,
to
sir.
put a form with 3 text boxes in which you will
Yes.
enter the name, age, and salary and hit on the submit button. And then that submit button will call which API? The submit button will link to this API.
Which get
Add teacher.
add teacher. Yes.
And that will add the
Add. Yes.
so that is the backend part of it, the application. So I
Okay.
want you all to be comfortable with the basic current operations or you all to move ahead with the advanced topics. Okay. So
Yeah.
today is the 6th of November. So we'll be having sessions. Let's say in the next 6 sessions, we should try to finish off with the backend part. So by maybe 20th of November, we should hand over you all to the real-time project development team. So you all can now, instead of just working on dummy data, instead of just entering any random data, then you all will be building a application, real-time application. So let's try to keep the target of 20th November. I have given to hand over you guys to the corporate training team. Maybe Sartaj by Shanawag by someone from them will take it forward from there. Okay, guys, then practice this much. I'll
Okay.
make a repository on Git and upload all this work on my Git repository and share the repository link with you all. If ever you all want to fall back on the code, recording is there. If you all want to check the code, then you all can just take help from there. So instead of typing everything, you all can just copy paste the method. That will save time. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So take care.
Yes, sir.
Bye. Assalamu alaikum.
Bye, sir. Bye.